Hey guys, this is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast.
Literally right before we started.
Fresh off a break. We're all refreshed. We're good. I got a haircut. Tommy is still laughing because Mike still knows how to make him crack up before we go live. I'm your host.
2 seconds before we got on live.
I'm your host, JC. Joining me is Tommy.
Hey, guys.
And we got Mike.
What's up? I'm Mike. I got nothing except we're still running through 2022 Electric Boogaloo all year long. Never gonna end. Never gonna give you. Oh wait, sorry. About to Rickroll.
Oh my god.
About Rickrolled myself.
No, yeah. I was honestly when that QR code ad came up in the Super Bowl, I was afraid I was gonna get Rickrolled, and I refused to scan it.
I fell for it because I was so curious.
So,
I was like, what is that?
I was partially. I didn't really see, like, I wasn't completely paying attention to the TV, and I just saw it start bouncing, and I thought they were making an Office reference where they're watching the DVD thing, trying to get to the corner. And it does at the end. That's why I was like, they really. I'm not. I was like, no, I would never scan something like that.
I saw it. I was like, man, I'm not
too
gonna
old.
scan it. I'm gonna get rickrolled. Yeah. And then my sister's like, screw it, I'm gonna do it. She scans it. Bitcoin, fuck this shit, you know. So
I hate Bitcoin. They pushed it so heavy. But is it bad that the DVD thing? Before I ever watched The Office, I had done that before. Mm-hmm. That's what I felt. That's why I saw that part of The Office. I was like, oh, good. It wasn't just me, because I thought there was something wrong with me. Because I specifically remember doing that.
You know what? I know this is a wrestling show, but that's really one of the best things about social media. When you start realizing there's things you did or things that you remember, it's like, oh, so other people did too. Okay,
I'm convinced every black child grew up the exact same way. I'm convinced all of us had the exact same upbringing. None. Like we had the same sayings and like stuff in our parents' houses.
My only wish is that commercial would have been interactive and you could have two people playing Pong on the screen or some shit like that while it's going on. That'd
have been awesome. Yes. That'd have been awesome.
Or like, what if someone did the QR code and then they all of a sudden their face was like the commercial, like the first one on?
That'd have been cool.
That'd have been something.
Bernsey, what's up?
Hey, next year.
Yeah, next year, right? Bernsey, what's up? Let's get started. Yeah, we are going to be spending time today talking about WWE Elimination Chamber. Not the best name for pay-per-view going to Saudi Arabia, but I digress. And then we're also going to talk about Impact NoSurrender.
Blood Money in the Bank would have been much better.
Maybe next year.
I was like, so we're going with that name and we're sticking with it. Nobody in the drawing room said, hey.
Coming to Riyadh next year, Blood Money in the Bank, right? And honestly, that joke writes itself. But before we do that,
so funny.
You know, it's funny we joked that like we weren't gonna have a show last week unless some news hit, and honestly, like, surprised not a whole lot of wrestling news hit last week.
I was shocked. Usually, like when we say that, everything happens.
And then a couple items drop today. Let's talk about the first one, the big one, I would say, and that is the fact that after weeks of speculation, we've known their contracts had expired. They were still making appearances on TV. We weren't sure what was happening, but both Tony Khan, Cody Rhodes, and Brandi Rhodes all confirmed that Cody and Brandi are leaving AEW. As I understand it, their contracts had expired 6 weeks ago. They're still negotiating, still trying to make some things work out. And it's surprising because, you know, they had the reality show that had just aired too. They were, a part of AEW when it launched. A big part of it, right? So, and even more interesting about this is because their contracts have already expired, they could show up on WWE TV as soon as next week. I would have said this Friday, but SmackDown is taped and will probably be heavily edited, especially during a Ronda Rousey segment. But with them making plans to go to Saudi Arabia, you can expect Cody, if he is going to WWE, I'm still not completely convinced that this is really happening. A part of me, and maybe that's the 40-year, almost 41-year-old in me, thinks it's a work. But he could show up on Raw as soon as Monday at the earliest. Guys, initial thoughts on this surprising news.
I was gonna let Mike go first.
Like a lot of things because something's happened, right? Because that, like, when you say he was a big part of it, the way I remembered or the way it's in my head, the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club were like, you know what? We could sell out an arena in the USA, but they were saying it. Cody Rhodes joined them, was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get it done.
And he did it.
And I
all
kind of
in.
feel like he was the driving force to making it a reality. I don't know that. That's kind of the way I remember it and the way it plays out in my head. They were like, yeah, we totally could. He was like, well, let's do it. He was obviously one of the founding members. He's the only guy in AEW who comes up through the stage. He's the only guy who did not use the 2 tunnels. I guess Moxley comes through the crowd and stuff, but I mean, as far as the stage entrance, he had the Undertaker of entrances, the Triple H of entrances for AEW.
Sure the throne that time.
We talked about it for a while now. Was he an evil genius, or did he work himself into a shoot? I don't know still. Like, again, business, make decisions for your family, all that stuff, I get that. It just seems like something changed. Did he really get upset that the crowd turned on him?
Okay.
I mean, his booking was pretty strong. Even though he would lose, he would always find a way to come back and get that win back later on. He would do crazy stuff, don't get me wrong. I don't know if it was Tony Khan kind of taking over full booking away from the EVPs or what, but it just seems like something changed. Because he was such a big central part of it, and then to just go, okay, well, couldn't get a contract done, gonna go. Seems like there has to be more than that.
Tommy, your thoughts and theories on this.
I have a few. I will say that I've heard some rumors that aren't everywhere that this is legit, but I'm also still skeptical because, honestly, okay, I'm gonna explain it this way in a way a friend of mine explained it. Even if this is real, I don't think it was because of anything bad, and the reason I'm saying that is because of how the press releases have come out. AEW's came out like very, very much thanking them. How Cody's and Brandi's came out, seemed like they very, very were positive about this. So even if it's real, I don't know if it's anything bad. It could be, to me, if they are leaving and going to WWE of all places, which would shock me beyond all that. I feel like if that's the case, that meant Vince backed the truck up. And what I mean by that is a U-Haul showed up in front of Cody's house and it had dollar bills in it. Behind those dollar bills were hundreds. And behind those hundreds were more hundreds. and Vince said, I heard your contract's up. For the love of God, please say you like us so someone will watch WrestleMania.
I guess you could say he was like, hey, I could pay you 50, 60 people's worth of salary.
Yeah.
Because we got rid of more than that.
Well, you're not wrong, but that joke kind of does work though. But I also feel like it's to Cody, but I think AEW, even if this is real, he leaves, it's not gonna miss him. I hate to say that like that, but I'm not trying to say he didn't matter, was an integral part, because he was, and he could still be, he still is. But they have a really solid talent roster.
Yeah.
That's like when, like Jericho brought this up, but he's like when him and Fozzy were touring, he said, "I don't need to be there." He's like, I get to be there because it's fun. I get to wrestle and build up this new talent, have fun with these guys, and that's great. But they don't need me there. They got Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Britt Baker, MJF, and and Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus. They got all these guys who have commanded the presence of the fans. And even Christian doesn't even wrestle that much. I mean, he still gets a pop when he comes out with them, but he doesn't have to, I guess is my point. And for Cody, it's like, I still want to see if it's a work. I want to know if they're like pulling the ultimate swerve, because I want to see if this plays into what Mike said about before the end of this year. He's going to try to get an AEW title shot, which I still believe could still happen. I want Mike to be right.
If this had happened before the Royal Rumble, like if he had entered the Rumble, won, and cashed in for an AEW title shot, holy hell, the shit would have fucking hit the fan. But I know there's rumors about going to WWE, and I know it's a never say never business. It's hard for me to see him going back there, especially the way the exit was, the way they basically buried him leaving TV, and his wife. Well, then fiance at the time, but his wife. They weren't always treated the best. The Rhodes family never has been. I know there's a lasting legacy that his dad left with some of the NXT talent that he's coached, but that legacy's practically gone now with the way they've brought up NXT 2.0, you know?
Yeah, because most of them are either on the main roster where no one admits they were ever on NXT anymore, or they're just out of the company altogether.
Yeah. Mike, go ahead.
Oh, God.
What?
I just had a thought.
No.
Now, this is a total storyline, but it would be a great storyline.
If I'm going to see
what
this
if
is the
he
same thing I'm
comes
thinking.
back
Go ahead.
with Triple H
There it
to
is.
reclaim
NXT.
1.0 and make it kind of indie again? Because honestly, in all his stuff in AEW, who was he always taking shots at? Because he was literally trying to be like him. Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
He broke the throne in one of the first pay-per-views. He pulled out the golden shovel. But who was like not literally married to the boss's daughter, but like up in there in the political, was at least in the AEW hierarchy. Like I said, got the special entrances, just like Triple H does every year at WrestleMania. So imagine him showing up to avenge and invade 2.0. That would make it interesting again. Not introducing 70 new people with some really dumb gimmicks.
Yeah, I wondered that, or I wonder if they were just going to do some sort of one-off WrestleMania match, Cody versus Triple H, and then the next thing you know, Cody's back on AEW. You know, who knows? I just, I don't know if that'll go over. I mean, but you never know. It's WrestleMania. What might they do?
Well, okay. So I kind of feel like they would do something like that. Maybe not one off and then go right back, but maybe he would like come back with even bigger ego. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm good enough to leave, go right to WrestleMania, and come right back, you know, or something like that. I mean, he's not dumb. He hears the boos. I mean, he just doesn't care. I kind of feel like him and Kevin Owens / Kevin Steen always had that in common. Cheering or booing was the exact same to them. It didn't really matter much. It didn't really change their promos that much.
But it's been a long time since the fans didn't want Kevin Owens to be there. And let's be honest, that's the kind of heat Cody's gotten for the last 6 months at least, if not more. Like, even Brandi on that weird episode a couple weeks ago where Dan Lambert came out, and there was this whole weird thing where we thought we were getting Brandi versus Paige Van Zandt in the end. But, like, she's not even in there to talk Rhodes family necessarily, and the crowd's just booing her out of the building.
Never mind, except for the zinger she had about Josh Alexander, which was great, by the way. You know,
which is some other news to bring up on top of stuff. Have y'all followed him?
No. What has he been putting? Is he contract almost up?
His contract's expired, and his visas. He's got to like rework. Apparently his Impact. Look up his Twitter.
Oh no,
his Impact, which I don't get either. Okay. Oh, maybe there's something. Maybe there's something all connected. Maybe they're gonna make a third brand.
Right. This is how Ring of Honor comes back. They all show up at Ring of Honor WrestleMania weekend.
Hey, if Josh Alexander or Cody Rhodes take over ROH, then they have an even better shot than they had the past few years. I'll say that. If they also bring back Shane Taylor, but also, you know.
I mean, all I saw is he posted because he wasn't going to be able to make Terminus and something else because he said his Impact contract is expired and his visa, so that caused his visa to like. Now he's going to have to reapply.
Yeah, this was yesterday. Today my contract expired and subsequently also U.S. work visa. Unfortunately, as a consequence, I will not be able to honor my commitments to Terminus and AML Wrestling later this month, which I don't know what that stands for. I'm disappointed. I'm sorry. Hopefully I'll have everything in order soon. Yeah.
Is this like Impact didn't re-sign him? Or did they not realize his contract? I know we're kind of like getting off base here, but I feel because there's similar situations where two stars in two different companies that were pretty prominent to their major storylines and to the company in general, and now their contracts expire. Different situations, apparently. One seemingly making the decision. I don't know where all the info is with Josh Alexander, but just very strange. It's all kind of
But
around the
very
same
similar,
time.
like you said. I mean, Brandi and Cody were at least on some level involved in some storylines on TV. For their sudden exit,
Yeah.
it's surprising. How do they address that on screen? A lot of wrestlers have broken character a bit to say thank you and send messages. So if this is a work, they are really selling it. They're doing a great job of it. So I'll be honest with you. If he's leaving the company, I expect him back and trying to get a title shot by All Out this year. I fully expect that. And a part of that is also the fact that let's face it, you said at the top of it, Mike, he was partially the brainchild of All In. He's a big reason why AEW is where it is. It was never a thought that there would be another promotion until All In happened and Tony Khan said, hey, maybe we can do something with this. And he approached them about it. So I don't see him staying away from his baby for very long. I know there's been some rumors that there's a bit of a falling out between the Rhodes and the Young Bucks and Khan and everything, but they don't put a nice statement out there like that if there's some cordial things going on.
I feel like to me that rumor is just that is like Cody was doing other stuff and maybe they didn't agree or maybe they but I don't think falling out is the right word. I was like maybe they decided to go different ways with their careers. Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know.
So, but again, I expect Cody to find some way to sneak back in. Maybe it'll be a casino battle royal, and get himself a title shot, one way or another.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if he shows up on WWE though, that's a whole different game because I can't imagine they only sign him 6 months or to a short
Maybe
one like
that's what I'll
that.
negotiate. I mean, it's a never say never thing. Maybe Ring of Honor seems more likely. And if it is Ring of Honor, Homicide put this on his Facebook. He wants one shot at the American Nightmare.
Oh,
Side wants to wrestle Cody. He just wants, and I would love to see it. Yeah.
Good.
I'll say I could see them doing a 6-month deal. I could honestly because I feel like now he's big enough to where that he could demand that. Before no, but now yeah, because and let's face it, like their credibility is really shot right now.
Yeah, but they're making money. Like I don't know if they care about their credibility. Look what they're doing. Like that's kind of the whole point of why I don't care that much about the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and I would say maybe put in this contract. I don't.
They're just so predictable. Bring back Brock. Bring back big names. Bring in celebrities.
Yeah.
All those guys who spent the 9 months putting in the work, doing all that. Thanks, guys. Back of their line. Here's a Rumble or a Battle Royal at WrestleMania. Like,
all right, Mickey James, we fired everybody else. You free Saturday night.
Our bad. We're sorry. And at least that happened. That was special.
We fired 50 women. We should have thought of that before we had the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, way to go, Nick Khan. So, yeah, we'll see how if Cody's headed that way, how well he negotiates with that other Khan person.
One other conspiracy theory. What if he shows up on WWE TV and he does not have the tattoo? What if it's gone?
They made him come just for the
I've questioned the reality of the tattoo for a while now. I think it's a fake.
Question the reality of the tattoo.
I think it's a fake.
I don't even know what to do with that sentence.
He does a fresh cold water application before every show and everything. So it's one of those.
What if he proved that? What if he proved that in the ring? Just put some applicator on it. It just came right off. It'd be hilarious.
If that happens, let it be the Miz that does it. That'd be fucking hilarious. Well, we can talk about this for a while. We'll see where this plays out. But wherever this goes, this is huge. But for those saying that, oh my God, WWE pulls at AEW. First of all, we don't know if Cody's going there. Second of all, AEW's fine. Cody and Brandi haven't exactly been they haven't been featured on any major prominent storylines. They haven't been selling pay-per-views by virtue of them being on them. The talent that AEW is bringing up is what's doing that. So
and one last point, even if he is leaving, Cody left putting over Sammy Guevara in an amazing ladder match that was a match of the year candidate easy. So even if they are leaving, he didn't leave like not doing the job, as you could say. He left putting over one of the fastest rising stars in the company. Another one of the other people who I'm positive for his career is over will be world champion at least once. Like AEW world champion.
I think that's safe to say for every pillar, honestly. So
including Britt Baker.
Yeah, well, she is. Oh, men's too, probably.
She'll probably be Jungle Boy for it.
Yeah. But yeah, like even on top of that, we talk about the pillars, and then they have Bryan Danielson, and they have CM Punk, and they have Keith Lee now, and they have Miro, who I guess has been injured, and they have Malachi. They also have all these big names. So you have the ones they're growing, you have the stars they brought in. In fact, one of our complaints has been, is their roster too big? Do they have enough space for all these names?
That's what I worry about. I worry about them re-signing talent that they have brought up. A lot of the things that have been there from the beginning.
Well, they're not. Like Joey Janela's probably not staying there much longer. Peter Avalon, a bunch of those indie guys that started with them, unfortunately, do seem to be not mass fired in the way WWE does, but their contracts don't look like they're getting renewed. Yeah.
So in the case of Joey Janela, I was talking about this with some friends of mine on one of my other groups, and they brought up a good point. He really didn't connect with the AEW audience the way he does with like the GCW audience. Yeah. There's that difference. And according to Tony Khan, he said, "I'm not renewing a contract. That doesn't mean I'll never work with these guys again. Like, they can still be brought in for a pay by appearance thing. They just don't have the contract anymore." And with Joey Janela, I think that kind of works better in his case because he's more of an indie guy anyway. Not saying he can't be a main, a place guy. It's just I think he goes better when he gets to be crazy, and he can be crazier in somewhere like GCW. Right. So I don't really see it as that bad because in AEW's defense, at least they're honoring the contracts that they signed people to in the first place.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. But I think you'll see as they start signing more names, like I guess Brandon Cutler's going to keep his career as the Young Bucks lackey spraying pressurized air onto people for the rest of his career. But I don't know. QT Marshall, I guess, trains and does squash matches. So
QT Marshall ain't going nowhere. He is the job squad of AEW. And I mean that in the nicest way possible because he does his job very well. I'm not even mad. So
Dustin Rhodes isn't either. He came out on Twitter today and said, "I'm not going anywhere." So.
Okay.
Because he's having the career of his life right now.
Yeah, he didn't need to. All right, well, we'll see how this plays out. Now, from all that special news, let's talk about a show we really genuinely don't care about, but there's some implications on it. I don't know. Maybe there's something.
Implication.
Maybe there's one or two matches we're interested in. I know there's at least one that Mike is interested in.
Oh, let me just get right off the bat. McIntyre versus Madcap Moss.
Hey.
WWE Elimination Chamber. Go ahead, Tommy.
Okay, seriously, about that match. Why? I guess I was. It's like I saw that. Okay, you want to know the full disclosure? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. I had no idea that was happening until I read our sheet that we were doing it, and I was saying, I saw it. I swear to God, I stopped and I said, "Madcap Moss."
Yeah. I don't know the point of it. I don't know why the falls count anywhere. And to be honest with you, it's either going to be that match or Mysterio versus Miz that probably ends up on the pre-show. That's just probably what's going to happen. So there are 8 total matches on the card. We're going to make predictions for 5 of them. Because, now one thing I will note on this, there's a lot more women booked on this show, which is very nice to see.
In a safer place.
Yeah, well, Ronda and Naomi versus Charlotte and Sonya Deville. There's the Women's Elimination Chamber match. And then, of course, there is Becky Lynch versus Lita. So, the idea is that it's getting better. Obviously, they'll be wearing some, different wrestling attire than what we're used to seeing them on TV.
The full body cover.
Yeah, full body cover. But still, it's a step in the right direction for Saudi Arabia, what they've been pushing. And something that I think that the cool part about these shows, at least, is when the women come out, how much they are prominently featuring the looks on young girls' faces in the crowd. how excited they are to see women performing. You
know? And I know Lita came out because when the first show happened, she was real critical. Because I don't know if y'all remember, the very first show happened right around Evolution.
Yes.
And a lot of people said they put on Evolution as kind of like to look better after that. Mm-hmm. And, Lita was real critical at first. And then now she's on this one, so some people are like, oh, what happened? And she came out and said kind of what you said. She's like, well, it was. At first, there were no women anywhere. But as they've had more shows, it's become more, they've able to get more on. And, I've talked to some of the other women that have gone, and they said, like you said, in the crowd, the women that are allowed to be there and the kids and the fans, like, it's so meaningful. So she goes, it was at first and it was a big deal, but it seems like it's getting better. So, she wanted to be a part of it. So
I do agree that this has helped. Like, I know it does help, like, the kids and everything. Now, but I still want to make this clear. It doesn't give Vince a pass for how this all started in the first place, but it does. So yeah.
Vince, there's no pass for Vince McMahon in this life. That's that's
in this life. I love how you just. In life in general, there is no pass for Vince McMahon.
No.
I mean, he knows who he is, and he's not going to change. And
I see, at this point, I'm convinced he's not sure who he knows who he is anymore.
Well,
he just knows what he. Well, I don't even know if he knows what he wants because he changed his shit last minute. But anyway, let's start this off by talking about the Women's Elimination Chamber match. That one has a Raw Women's Title match at WrestleMania on the line. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Piper Niven, Nikki, and Alexa Bliss are in this chamber match. Not sure who obviously they haven't set what the order could potentially be, but it's a pretty good lineup, I think, for this type of match. So
it is,
yeah. Tommy, who do you think is walking away with a WrestleMania title shot here?
I kind of want to feel like it's Alexa Bliss, honestly. I mean, I wish I could say Bianca Belair because I want her to be the answer to pretty much every question that's ever asked. But for a variety of reasons, gentlemen, thank you. But no, I just feel like they've been doing this whole vignettes and all this stuff and building her back up to, I guess, like, this will be her big comeback party, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. This is how I feel.
I'm agreeing with you there. I'm wearing the shirt.
I was just going to ask you. I was like, I already knew where you were going with that.
I'm interested to see this and how, if this whole psycho dark gimmick will play over, because I don't think she's brought that to Saudi Arabia yet. But I wonder if she's going to keep that or a little less.
Apparently, according to the people that have talked about the vignettes, she starts getting more and more normal.
Yeah, as it's progressed.
Okay.
But I wonder if it's going to, if she's going to be teetering, if they're going to work that, and how the crowd would react to that, So,
yeah.
Mike, how you going with this one?
So I actually have a heart versus head pick. My heart wants Liv Morgan to win because I really feel like she's that next underdog that they're just not fully putting over, but she's improved so much. I think she's got a lot of fans well behind her. But I actually think my head pick is Bianca Belair.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Again, in all seriousness, nothing against Alexa Bliss, but I think the bigger match is that rematch with Becky and Bianca. Because the first one was the quick count, and they had the other one. They had the second match, right? And she won by cheating, or what happened?
Yeah, they've never really gone to blow up in that thing.
I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
and you're right. I just I don't trust there to be long-term booking like that. But you're right. That would be the better match.
Yeah,
yes. I'm gonna go Bianca.
Okay.
All right. SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos defending against the Viking Raiders. This one's interesting. I think this is potentially one of I don't know. There could be title changes galore on this, but I actually want to go with an upset here and say the Viking Raiders. I know the Usos seem to be the odds on with the whole family thing and the favorite, but I feel like I'm not convinced that Roman's going to lose later in the night, so I'm going to go with the Viking Raiders here and they're gonna take the gold, or at least win by DQ, right? So, Mike, what about you?
If this was the War Raiders from NXT, I'd be behind you. But like many NXT things that have come up to the WWE main roster, the Viking Raiders just weren't allowed to be serious and tough. So they've always got to be corny and doing dumb things. So I got to go with the Usos. Right now, the Usos, along with a few other people, are on that. I'm picking them till they actually lose. Deonna Purrazzo thing. So
Okay. Tommy?
Man, I just want this to happen. Screw it. I'm saying Viking Raiders. I don't even care if I'm wrong at this point because I just want it to happen. They keep teasing like the Usos are gonna turn, and it's like Veer Mahan showing up. They're doing or don't at this point because I don't care anymore.
I think at this point it's just a running joke.
I saw this. I saw this tweet just before we came on. They said, "How about that? Cody Rhodes going to make it to Raw before Veer."
What if Cody shows up with the Veer Mahan face paint on?
Oh God!
Just throw that out there.
That might be problematic, but
yeah.
Wait, what
also
if Veer
he'll look
Mahan
funny.
shows up, but Cody jumps him from behind before he ever gets to the ring?
Okay, that could be funny too.
That could be hilarious. Yeah. So
I can't. Like. Stop showing the vignettes at this point. Like, I don't know if they're still. I don't know if they're still doing it. I really don't.
Do y'all
like,
remember?
They're doing it so much. I was like, stop doing this. Just stop it. You don't
Do y'all
care
remember
anymore.
that NXT thing when Joe was still down there, where they like built up this dude, this big bald dude? I don't even remember his name. And I think they did a couple of weeks of like vignettes or something. And then he showed up, and then Joe just destroyed him.
yeah.
And it was just all like a I don't know if it was a rib or just a joke, but like they were building up like this big NXT arrival, and then Joe just demolished him in like 2 minutes. That's what Veer and Cody Rhodes is gonna be
That'd be
at the
great.
next Raw.
I feel like this because like at this point I just feel like it's part of the like commercials for the show. While I don't care anymore, I feel like they should keep doing it no matter what, even after they release him, which they're
about
going
to say.
to do.
Even if they announce his release next week, just keep fucking putting it up there. Veer Mahan's coming to Raw. Just do it, But he's released. Fuck it, just do it. We got to add space, So.
No, I just want him like wandering down the middle of someone else's match, just like nonchalantly, like no, wait, who's this? Oh, it's Veer. Like what? Just like in the middle of like some random match.
Have him secretly as one of the security guys at like a show or something on TV. All right, Raw Women's Championship. Mike, your all-time favorite Lita is challenging Becky Lynch for this. How you going with this one? I know you're split here, so.
Yeah. So inspired by Tommy's, I don't even care anymore. I'm just going to go with my heart. I'm picking Lita to win. I know she probably won't, but
yeah,
it's Lita. I asked her to marry me so many times. She never said no. I just never got a definitive answer. So.
Telling me there's a chance. Telling me there's a chance. There you go. Tommy, what about you?
I gotta go Becky. Although I hope Mike's right. I hope I'm wrong on this one. I hope Mike's right because this is the same thing when Trish Stratus challenged Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title at SummerSlam a couple years ago. I was like, I don't care if I'm wrong. I want Trish to win. I don't care if she's trying to pass the torch and give her the. I don't care about that right now. I don't care about respecting the new generation with the old generation doing the job. I don't care about that shit. I want Trish Stratus to win. So I know where Mark's coming from. I don't blame him at all.
And this is coming from a huge Becky Lynch fan.
but it's I'm a huge Charlotte fan, but I think for us there's kind of a hierarchy in our love for these wrestlers, and in my book, Trish will always come before a whole lot of female wrestlers. Like, hey, it's Trish. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also, big time Bex is a little lower on the list than the man. So got to be honest about that.
No. Maybe that big time Bex will be bigger than the man because Ric Flair's use of the man is his career's not exactly the best right now. So,
I wasn't sure where you were going there for a second. Okay.
Yeah, you see where I'm going. Yeah, I'm going Becky Lynch also, just because it's either going to set up Alexa versus Becky or Bianca Belair versus Becky. Those seem to be the two favorites to win the Chamber. And that's, kind of where I think they're going to shoot for what they want to do at WrestleMania. So, unless there's some controversial finish, they make it a triple threat, right?
They don't want to know what they're doing in WrestleMania. They don't know.
Yeah, I'm convinced every rumor we've heard about WrestleMania is literally an idea someone said in passing, and that no one has been able to confirm yet. That is my God's honest belief about
including Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens. But God, I would love to see it. But yeah,
that's one rumor. A friend of mine who does not watch WWE. He has sworn them off entirely, and he's one of the guys I know who is stuck to his word. Because every time I tell him something that happens, he laughs about it. It's like, I'm glad I'm not watching. He even said, "Damn it, if this is true, and you Vince, I'm going to WrestleMania."
I would just like to throw out the rumor that the night one main event is actually Cesaro versus Madcap Moss. That's the rumor I've heard.
I'm down.
So that's
I don't care if it's Madcap Moss. If Cesaro's in the main event of even at WrestleMania, I will buy a ticket.
Fair enough.
Well, then I guess he has got it. Madcap's got to beat Drew McIntyre to really springboard that. That'd be crazy, right? So,
obviously.
All right, Universal Championship, and most likely this match might be first because Roman, if he's not last, he's probably first. And with them having a Chamber as the other title, I would think this might go on first. But Roman Reigns defending against Oldberg, as we call him. I know people are throwing up stats about how every time that Goldberg has challenged for the Universal Championship, he's won. And I think they're really just trying to swerve us with it. So I'm going to go with Roman to win. It's another one of those Deonna Purrazzo complexes. You pick them till they lose. And let's be honest here, with the way Roman has been doing things, if he loses to Goldberg, WWE is going to get roasted for booking that shit. So I'm going with Roman Reigns. I assume you guys are as well. Or do you think that WWE is going to go with shitty booking?
Roman.
Well,
yeah, of course we're going to go with shitty booking, but Roman's going to win this.
Thank you. I mean, this was the match we barely wanted 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 pandemic years have not increased our desire to have this match at all. Like, someone tell Goldberg that this match is like in New York City. And then literally any other wrestler not wrestling can face Roman Reigns. Again, I love the wrestlers we grew up watching.
Yes.
But that was 20 years ago. Okay? We were in college and in high school. And now we're old men and you have kids and y'all have married and stepkids and all this stuff. And now they're still bringing them back.
I know.
And
not even in like a special attraction kind of way. They're getting title shots.
They're big parts of this. And you remember when Goldberg almost died in Saudi Arabia against Undertaker or something?
When he almost killed Undertaker in Saudi Arabia?
One of those, right? Like, there was a lot of near deaths.
Both happened. Yeah, he almost killed himself, almost killed Undertaker.
I'm okay. I'm going with Reigns.
Yeah.
But I'm done. Like, they're killing my love for these old wrestlers a little bit because they don't stop bringing them back, and it just tarnishes their legacy. Like, I'm cool with remembering Goldberg from the streak and from even some of his WWE stuff the initial time, but
yeah,
you know.
Jessica, what's up? See you there. We're talking Chamber. Jessica? Yeah, Jessica franchise. And, well, let's move on then to the WWE Championship in an Elimination Chamber match. Bobby Lashley defending against Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Riddle, and AJ Styles. Tommy.
Okay.
Go for it. You're first.
Okay. First of all, I keep forgetting Austin Theory got called up. I watched it so little. I keep forgetting he got called. I feel so bad saying that because he's actually a really good wrestler and a really great character. But I so kept forgetting that he's up there now, and I was like, Austin Theory. I was like, oh no way, he is up there now. I keep wanting to see his name in NXT somewhere. But okay, so I have a head pick. and a heart pick. My heart wants it to be AJ Styles so bad, just because. But my head has to logically conclude it's got to be Bobby Lashley, because I don't see them doing a title for title match at Mania. I really don't. They could. I think that would be a terrible idea.
Wait,
but
you don't think WWE would do it, or you don't want it to happen? Because those are two different things.
I don't want it. I don't want it to happen, but I think they would do it. You're right. Sorry,
right.
I misspoke. Yeah, you're right.
Just want to make sure we're on
okay,
the
okay. I don't want them to do it. They would absolutely, 100%. Please, dear God, no. They could, and they might, and I hate everything.
All right. So depressed. Mike, what about you?
My despair just hit a whole all-time low just now. It's like, I just hate everything. I feel like Daria.
You know what? I just want to burn this whole thing down. I'm picking Seth Rollins for no logical reason other than that would be fun. And I wish he would come out with the Shield stuff again, because that was really cool.
That was awesome.
I was gonna say after the past Royal Rumble, honestly, I would support that too.
That would be cool to see. Yeah.
I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go for it.
I don't. God, I hate to go this way because I think I just know the way WWE books this shit, and honestly, there's not. It's gonna come down to Lashley and Lesnar. I feel like that's obvious. That's where they're going with this. It's gonna come. For all we know, they'll probably start the whole thing and finish the whole thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I honestly have Lesnar winning, and it's just becoming a Lashley Lesnar 3 at Mania, if anything, unless they do a Lashley Lesnar and Roman and winner take all type thing, for the men's titles. Who knows? But I just, Saudi Arabia loves Lesnar supposedly, so they, I gotta go with Lesnar. I don't want to see it. I want to see something different. I'd love to see somebody else pin Lesnar, but
he wants
Austin
to see
Theory.
something different.
Dude, if it was Riddle that pinned Lesnar, can you imagine? So
if Riddle wins this, I will. Okay, I'm going to make a declaration here and now. If Riddle wins this, I will subscribe to the Peacock Network and I'll back in.
Ad free.
Ad free.
Okay.
If Riddle wins this, I'm back in. I'm back in to WWE. I will say it right now.
All right.
If Riddle wins this match, I'm back.
You heard it, Vince. If you're in your right mind,
you will subscribe ad free and pay for the year up front too.
Ad free up front.
Yes.
Up front. I will absolutely do it. If somehow Riddle wins this match, I'm back in. I know Tina will hate it, but I'm back in.
So not only does he watch WrestleMania, he gets to check out the rebooted gritty Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's going to check out the updated rebooted Saved by the Bell. He's going to watch some Harry Potter movies. He's all in with no commercials. Actually, if I remember correctly, a lot of those movies had commercials anyways, which I always thought was really stupid. But
and in addition, if Bianca Belair wins the Chamber, Tommy will also cancel his New Japan subscription just for you.
Whoa!
Not too far.
Whoa! Hey now.
But hey, you know what? Okay, here. How about this?
Okay.
Another declaration. I'll make y'all a deal. I will. If Bianca Belair wins the Chamber, if Mike is right, and Bianca Belair wins the Chamber, I promise, I will buy a Brock Lesnar shirt.
Oh, okay.
If Bianca wins, I will buy it. I will order it, and I will wear it on the show.
Make sure it's got the Jimmy John's logo on it too.
Seriously?
So, yeah.
I'm serious. If Bianca wins, I'll buy.
I was just gonna say, instead of canceling your New Japan, just cancel to that other website you subscribe to. I mean, they may not have many fans, but
Jessica, Riddle would be interesting. That would be interesting.
First of all, my wife is gonna watch this episode only. And the next thing I know, she's gonna be like, "What's this subscription?"
Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. Yes.
Your phone?
I
love this desktop right now.
I'm completely BSing. He is innocent. I'm just projecting onto him. It's
innocent.
mine. Okay.
He was innocent.
It's all mine.
Yeah. All right.
You're welcome, Tommy.
WWE Elimination Chamber is this Saturday, February 19th. It's going to start at 11 a.m. Central Time on the Peacock Network. Yeah. Saturday. That's kind of the cool thing, right? So, pre-show, I believe, was going to start at 10 or 10:30. Check your Peacock listings for that. So, yeah, a Saturday at lunchtime wrestling pay-per-view if you got nothing else to do because, face it, football season's over. So, I'm going to catch it later because my daughter's got softball practice during that time. So, yeah.
Which the halftime show, Super Bowl, amazing. Moving on.
Yes, it was. We are going to move on and head to another Saturday event, and one that honestly is going to be pretty damn cool, I say, is Impact NoSurrender. An Impact Plus event. There are 7 matches on the card this time, and we're going to talk about 4 of them in detail as far as making predictions. But I want to mention one match in particular that's going to happen. Eric Young versus Jay White.
Man.
I don't know if this is Jay White's last appearance on Impact because, as we've seen, he's shown up at AEW or if he's going to be appearing on both. But, Tommy, I know you're excited to see this one.
Oh, my God. First of all, like, Eric Young, who would have thought, like from 2004, we'd be saying, oh, man, Eric Young, can't wait for one of his singles matches. Everyone's like, dude, are you drunk? I'm surprisingly not, sir. Thank you for asking. But Eric Young and Jay White, that's just a battle of just psychotic guys that I'm just looking forward to, because I love how both of them have essentially kind of the same transition. They had the innocent, bright-eyed, babyface routine and gimmick, and like, we're gonna be the faces of the generation. We're gonna be the nice guys who win the belts, and then like 1 or 2 things happened, and they became the utter psychopaths that gathered other psychopaths with them, and just in their own way still took over the wrestling world, just not in the way anyone saw coming. Because when I first saw Jay White and Eric Young, I would never say those would be 2 of the best heels going in pro wrestling ever. Mm-hmm. And here we are in 2022 saying, arguably, Jay White and Eric Young have this down pat. Nothing against like MJF or The Miz, because they're also great. As far as pure psychopaths go, those 2 are great at it, because my favorite thing about both of them is when they lose, they don't.
Yeah.
because they will find any kind of way to spin it. Like, what does Jay White always say about the Geo Supercard MSG thing? He never says he lost. Never. What did he do? He single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden. And I laugh at that every time. I was like, you son of a bitch. You know good and damn well you didn't win that match. But I respect the hell out of you, sir, because you refused to give in to the haters.
All right. Other matches on the card, Black Taurus versus Jonah. And then, of course, there's a 10-man hardcore war. Team Impact versus Honor No More, with basically Honor No More's appearances on Impact on the line. If they lose, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, PCO, Vincent, and Kenny King can no longer appear on Impact TV. So that is what's on the line. I expect that to get bloody as hell.
I look forward to that.
Yeah. Those are really some of the other matches there that I'm looking forward to seeing. Now, as far as the title matches, though, the recently changed hands Impact Digital Media Championship, Matt Cardona recently defeated Jordan Grace for that. And Jordan Grace is getting her run back at this show. So, Mike, where are you going with this one?
I feel like it makes sense to keep it on Cardona for a while. I know I saw some of the footage of the last match where he wasn't sure about being in the intergender match. Every time he kind of hit a move on her, he was second-guessing himself, and then he went full all the other indie show Matt Cardona and used the chair to win. So I think he's going to cheat again, but I think he'll still be winning this one. I think he'll kind of keep it for a little while. Okay. Just because he's kind of got some hype behind him right now. And, I think he can still keep Jordan looking strong by not losing cleanly. So
yeah,
for sure.
I'm going to agree with that, too. I kind of feel it's going to go the same way with Cardona. He's arguably the biggest indie star right now. And he has a contract, but the work he's doing in GCW and on the independents is amazing. Yeah. So I think they want to kind of blossom that into some success here. So I'm going with Cardona. Tommy, what about you?
I agree. I mean, he is also the reigning NWA World Heavyweight Champion because...
That's right.
glad I wasn't the only one whose jaw dropped when that picture on his Twitter and Instagram showed up. Because I was like, "Excuse me, what is that over his shoulder?" Because I immediately said, "What did I miss?" I was just like, I was amazed. I love. And now that joke of what he said WWE was his developmental, that joke is getting more and more true. It's kind of not funny anymore because he's kind of proving that that's all that time was.
Gonna start calling him Ultimore Cardona soon.
Yep.
Yeah, for real. I mean, you might as well, especially if he goes back and wins one more belt in GCW, which they hate him there, and I love it.
Yeah, they do.
Let's live it up, man.
He is the big. He is like he is the Lex Luthor to Nick Gage's Superman over there, because they hate him so much, and it's brilliant because he does everything that he knows they would hate. I wanted him to keep the GCW belt longer just so he could add more stuff to it and really piss them off.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely a different Earth Superman. That's
yeah,
that's not main Earth Superman.
That's like which one was the Crime Syndicate from Earth 3 or something like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely that one.
Yeah, I should also mention too that he's been booked for the next RCW show, March 6th, along with Scarlett Bordeaux. Scarlett Bordeaux and Matt Cardona are headlining that show for RCW.
And I don't know if you guys heard, but I think is it Mysterious Q? We'll be facing Cardona.
Yes. So potentially the NWA World Heavyweight Championship could be on the line there as well. But he's bringing that title with him. So yeah.
Moose defended his belt against Khan, and man, they beat the hell out of each other. If you guys can ever catch a replay of that match alone was worth watching that whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, I need to check it on that streaming service that they run, and I'm very happy that they're getting it on there. It's pretty awesome.
Title Match Network.
Title Match Network. There we go. Yeah, I believe it's $9.99 a month as well, and it's got streams available for independent promotions all over the country. So it's pretty cool. Now, Tag Team Championship, the Good Brothers defending against the Gorillas of Destiny, representing the Bullet Club here. Tommy, you're wearing the shirt. Just go ahead and pick it, man. What you got?
I want this so bad, just so they could say that they have been taking belts left and right. I want the GOD to win this so bad. I feel like it would be perfect too. I feel like even if I feel like Anderson and Gallows would want to drop it to them because, I mean, aside from Fale, Tama Tonga is the other OG Bullet Club member. Fale. Fale and Tonga are the only two left. Yeah. So I feel like this would be the good guys to drop them to. Even if they win them right back, let's let them say that they won those belts too. Besides, I'm a GOD fan ever since I first met them. They're actually really nice guys, even though me cheering for them made Lance Hoyt shove me twice. And literally no one helped me.
I mean,
Lance.
You know what? Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate all the help I appreciate the support that my friends.
He's a murder hawk. You see what he did to Adam Page? I mean,
okay.
Just don't get on the guy's bad side. I know it's too late for you, but I'm making it a point not to get there.
Have a not-bad side. I know because I've watched him for years. As angry and slightly less so. I don't know how to get on that side.
Slightly less so. That's where I'm at.
That's me too. I'm not going to the dark side for that one. Mike, are you going GOD as well? Or you think the Good Brothers retain?
Yeah, I'm going with God too.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the whole point of the initials. Let's see.
Vaya con Dios, me as well. I'm going with GOD as well. So, would love to see it too. I think this is gonna be great, and honestly, I want them to win the titles. Show up on AEW. Do something. I mean, we've long been hearing rumors about the Briscoes going to challenge FTR. What if GOD showed up as well? I mean, why
challenge
not?
the Young Bucks?
Yeah.
You know, I'd absolutely be down for that.
Well, the Young Bucks aren't even the tag team championships anymore.
No, but current and former members of Bullet Club have been talking crap online for quite a while now. So
just make it a Bullet Club or Revolution or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
it's actually Jurassic Express. They're the tag champions in AEW now.
Oh, they switched. Okay, and I missed that then. Jesus, these titles.
I would want to see it just because we can finally get the official Bullet Club Civil War that we've been denied for years, and I know that probably would have happened had it not been for COVID. Like I said, like Mike said, two pandemic years, but I feel like if we can get it now, cool. Let's do it now. Look, I'm honestly fine for doing it whenever, but if we can get it now as opposed to later, I'll take now.
Yeah, ironically, 2 pandemic years did make us want that more. So
yes,
depends on the match.
Because they booked it right.
Knockout. Actually, novel concept.
Now back where we can call this what it is, the Impact Knockouts World Championship. I know they don't allow them to call it Impact Wrestling, Knockouts World and WWE, but hey, you know what? For all the story about that, for all the terminology, at least they got her out there. At least they acknowledged she was a champion of their company.
And she got to use Hardcore Country, which also makes me happy.
Damn right. But Mickie James is defending this against Tasha Steelz, and in my personal opinion, this one's going to steal the fucking show. I know there's a lot of
it has all the possibilities of doing just that. Yeah, for sure.
I expect it to steal the show. I expect it to be an amazing match, but I also expect Mickie James to retain. Nothing against Tasha Steelz, but I feel like they're eventually getting it back to where it's going to be Mickie against Deonna as the rematch. Eventually getting that title shot. So, but I am going to go with Mickie James on this one. Mike, what about you?
I'm going to go out on a limb because I'm going to say if you want to make another star, Mickie James with the momentum she has coming off the Rumble, this would be a huge win to propel Tasha Steelz into that kind of top echelon for Impact. And I mean, I think you can eventually come back to Purrazzo in that. It's like we said, it was really weird when Mickie won it, and I guess we see why it happened now, but I don't know if Purrazzo needs that as much as it could really help Tasha Steelz. So I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to just go out there again and say you give her the win, and that could really propel her and make her a bona fide star there in Impact.
All right. And Tommy?
Actually, I was going to say the same thing Mike was saying. I just feel like Tasha Steelz has been coming in and on her own lately since Kiera Hogan left. Again, nothing against Kiera Hogan because she's doing her own thing, which good for her. But I just feel like Tasha Steelz is making her own lane, and they've been noticing that and paying attention. So I feel like she is about due now. Interestingly enough, I feel like they could do another triple threat kind of thing where like Deonna costs Mickie the title. And then Tasha is, she does the thing where I didn't need your help, blah, blah, blah. And John's like, yes, you did. Mickey's like, I want a rematch. And all three of them just settle this together. And that makes it even more awesome. So, yeah, I still think Tasha Steelz, but, I feel like shenanigans would help. So.
Yeah.
Also, Savannah's still there. So let's not forget that giant, intimidating, gorgeous woman is there, too. What did I just say? Gorgeous? Where'd that word come from? Ignore me.
All right, and finally, Impact World Championship. Moose defending against
gorgeous. I'm not going to say about which one.
Moose defending against Debbie Morrissey.
That's because the answer is yes. That's why.
While we recover from laughing, Mike, make your pick.
I'm going to go with Moose.
Okay.
I haven't seen everything, but I've heard they've actually been doing a good job of kind of making Morrissey finally look main event worthy and kind of getting serious. And but we were all assuming it was Josh Alexander on the road back, but I don't know where that's at now. But I still think Moose, they're going to wait for the right person to come up. And Morrissey's a good one, but I don't think he's the one. So I'm going to stick with Moose.
Yeah, same for me, going for Moose. Even if they don't work out the visa issues with Josh Alexander, which I fully expect them to renegotiate that and work that out. But even if they don't, you have a prime top heel champion right now. Use it. You've been building this guy up for years now, and he's finally got the title. He's going to do everything he can to make sure he doesn't lose it. So, and this is kind of a first big true test for Moose as champion, a big title defense for him. And also a test for Morrissey to see if he can hang in this spot. It's not easy doing a match with two big guys, so I'm interested to see how these guys put something together, and we'll see what happens. Tommy, what about you?
I'm going Moose as well. I feel like both of you said, it's gonna be a great test for him, and Morrissey's really has been looking strong, and I'm happy for him because given all he's been through and all he's struggled to come back from, he's looking the healthiest he's ever looked in his entire career, in my opinion, even in WWE or NXT. He's looking like a legit force, but I feel like to me, this is going to be kind of like what Moose and Khan was at RCW last week. It's going to be two gigantic human beings just punching each other relentlessly. we were, I love it because, so Terry was at the show with me, right? Well, no, naturally, of course, he got there first. I'm always late. But, so we were there and he texted me. He's like, "They're about to beat the hell out of each other." And I looked at him and I was just like, "Yep." Mm-hmm. And the second the bell rang, all they I don't remember much technique in that match. I do remember a lot of "I'm going to hit you as hard as I can," and the other daring them to keep hitting. And it's just like, yeah, this is why I watch pro wrestling. This is legitimately why I got into this in the first place. So I feel like this is going to be the same thing. And again, this is one of the moments where I say, I don't need a lot of technique in this match. These guys are over 6'5", look like if they actually punched a normal person, that person would not be getting up for at least the remainder of the next 2 days. So I'm looking forward to this, and I look forward to just be a good old Jim Ross slobber knocker. I wish he could call this match, honestly. Cool. That's fantasy booking. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, Impact No Surrender also this Saturday, February 19th. This one starts at 7 p.m. Central Time, exclusively on Impact Plus. And unlike previous Impact Plus shows, this one's going to be live. So check it out. Subscribe. Definitely worth it. Impact has a very, very impressive video library as well, and a lot of interviews and things like that they've done. Zoom call things as well. So they have a lot of good content on there. I think it's worth checking out, worth the price to subscribe to. And these live events, we're going to see a lot of them this year, I think. Impact is really starting to hit their stride with these, and I'm looking forward to it. So, well, those are the two shows we're going to preview. And with that, we're going to move into our 1-minute warning segment. Mike, do you have something for us this week?
I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna pass.
All right, Tommy, what about you?
I have one. It's a shout out, but yeah, I have one.
All right, whenever you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go.
This is a shout out to one of my best friends, Jenna Vivian Johnson. We actually met because of RCW. This was years ago when RCW was still doing car shows and stuff. She was one of the models there for one of the car shows, and she's a huge wrestling fan. And that's how we met and became friends. We actually met and we started talking through MySpace. How long ago this was.
MySpace.
Yeah, seriously. She was also best friends with my cousin, who tragically passed away about 6 years ago now. But me and her have been friends ever since. Today is her birthday, February 15th. So I am giving her a special birthday shout out. I don't know if she's watching live, but I told her I would. But I told her I had a surprise for her, so I can send her this link later so she can watch it. And she's doing great. She's very, very medically smart. She's working on her doctorate and everything. She's a super supportive friend, always there for me, and I just wish her the happiest of birthdays. I went over a minute.
Actually, you're under. You're good. You had 5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good job.
Come on, compared to what we did those previous couple weeks, that was probably really short, man.
Well, usually our 1 minute warnings are 1, 2, 3 and a half minute warnings.
Yeah.
Our 1 minute warnings are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I still talking minute warnings?
Well, I'm going to take a minute to shout out something. We didn't have a show last week, so I would have said this last week, but now we're finally here to say, and that is congrats to River City Wrestling, Brandon Oliver, 20 years. Running an independent promotion for 5 years, maybe 6, 7 if you're lucky. 20 is amazing. Some of my earliest memories, my earliest memory of RCW is seeing a flyer on my car after a meet and greet thing at the Ingram Mall before the 2007 Royal Rumble. Mike, you were there with me, friend Jesse. Friends, we were like, hey, let's go check it out. Why not? We got nothing else to do. Because Homicide and Hernandez are going to be there. My God, we were hooked. First time I saw, I think it was Gemini chop the shit out of Andy Dalton. My God. It was an amazing show. We've been hooked ever since. And I know it's been a while making it out with pandemic, with kids and everything. we're going to get there. But to see how this promotion has grown from where it was, to see some young stars to making it big, to being on Title Match Network, it's amazing. And Brandon, I know we did an interview a couple years ago. Thank you again for that. And I look forward to seeing what happens years down to come. You have a passion as a promoter. You said that in the interview. You've always had that, and I hope you always keep that. It's pretty amazing. Congrats on 20 years. Congrats to everyone that's ever been involved with RCW. And good luck down the road. We'll see who else gets signed, because Roxy made an appearance there, and she apparently just got offered a WWE contract too. So
I at this point, like, I don't see them stopping anytime soon, because the place was sold out. Like,
yes.
like the standing room only was legit. There was not one seat available in that whole building, and the matches were great, and it was so cool to see the Texas streets again. Man, the 2005-6 nostalgia that hit me when they were wrestling was like, whoa. And it was just me and Steve James, because literally no one else in that whole room had ever seen them before. So and so it was also like, whoa. Then it was like, oh, I'm old now. I'm that old guy who goes to wrestling shows on the weekends. I thought I had 20 more years before I became that guy. I'm that guy
now. You did.
You're never too old to go. You just get old when you stop going. That's the way I see it. So and you stop enjoying it. Yeah.
It's really cool, because I also like the fact that how they have so many guys getting so many shots. Like Khan getting a Impact World Title shot. It's just cool to me, because Khan's so talented. I'm glad he's getting to show that off. And Moose, can't say enough good things about how good he is, man.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. And if you're catching us later on afterward, feel free to comment or tweet at us at CCG_WrestleCast. Let us know your match predictions for WWE Elimination Chamber and Impact and NoSurrender. And next week, we're going to be recapping both shows, see what other crazy wrestling news comes out as well. And, we'll go forward from there. Guys, thanks for being on. Appreciate it, as always. So, over here,
Triple H signs with AEW.
Now that is a forbidden door worth breaking down.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real. People are fake.
Fake.
Catch you next time.
Bye. Adios, Booker.